back in Derby with the last pint pulled and a covenant in the deeds preventing its future use as a pub, it was definitely last orders at the Masons' Arms. But the sizable building was probably too big for a single house. Local father and son Danny and George set their sight on a different market.
If all goes according to plan, will be student accommodation.
OK.
Well, they'll love that. I mean,
yes, they will, yeah.
But the clock was very much ticking and they had just 6 months to get it ready for the first round of student arrivals. So, 11 months on, did they do it? Well, the outside at least is completely finished with new windows, doors and roof. Inside there are some great new living spaces in what was the downstairs bar area. In fact, Danny actually managed to sell the bar to a friend, so that didn't go to waste. This whole floor is a communal area with living rooms, dining room and kitchen.
Okay, well this is the back end of the bar area, and what we've had to do under the Housing Multiple Occupation Licence, we've had to put 2 of all the appliances in. We have 2 ovens, 2 hoods, 2 burner rings. We've got all the space to put 2 fridges in, and over here in the utility room we have all the plumbing in place for 2 washing machines and a tumble dryer.
Well, this is certainly looking like better student accommodation than I remember having. You bet. With 8 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, it meets current regulations for HMOs, houses of multiple occupancy. But we now seem to be lacking just one small detail. Where are the students? What's been happening? Did the boys meet their deadline?
No, we didn't, but it's not a problem because Derby University have 158 courses starting in January, so we're now in the position where we can go for the November sign-ups in order for them to move in for January.
So it's not too much of a disaster, and overall the refurbishment's gone well. While Danny looked after things day to day and did a lot of the work himself, his dad, who has a quarter share in the property, was kept fairly busy too.
My dad's played an important role in the project. He's not been involved in the building work as such, but he's certainly been a key to the support. He's helped out with the administration, with the bill paying, with the clearing of all the rubble and the rubbish, and keeping us all motivated. In particular, he's used his car to probably do about 150 tip runs, so we now call his car the Skip with Wheels.
With old carpet, furniture, fixtures and fittings to remove, George must have been a regular at the dump. But clearing the building was just the start of bringing architect Chris's plans to life. Is he happy with the result?
Very pleased with it. It's built to a very high standard. The students are going to have a fantastic time here.
I'm sure they will, even without the bar. Student digs in a pub, how cool is that?
The challenge, I think, wasn't for me. It was for Danny to get it all done to a very high standard and produce this fantastic building.
But to get a high-quality finish with a fully fitted kitchen and 3 bathrooms wasn't going to be cheap.
Initial budget was around about £50,000. Early on in the project we had to bring in some extra finance to ensure that we could do everything that we needed to do. So we raised the budget to £75,000 and we've pretty much come in on budget for the final project.
With that £75,000 spend on a building they bought for £126,000, Danny and George have committed just over £200,000 to creating these student digs. So, has it been a worthwhile investment? What do 2 local property experts think?
Transformed completely. I mean, I saw it as it was, and you wouldn't even recognise it now as the same place. I've done a fantastic job with it.
I think this house is going to appeal to students in a very big way. It's in absolutely a brilliant spot. They can walk into town and then they can walk the other way and go to the university, almost equidistant, perfect.
I think they've organised it very well. Obviously, a lot of rooms have been divided down. Good living accommodation downstairs as general space. Bedrooms are okay, not oversized, but adequate for the purpose.
Well, it might fit the bill for students, but will it pay the bills for Danny and George's £200,000 investment here?
On fully serviced room accommodation like this, I think the going rate for university students is somewhere around £75 to £80 a week, and that's achievable. Not over a full 52-week year, it's a bit truncated, but that's the sort of rate, and I'm sure that's what they'll achieve.
If the property were rented out individual rooms, they would make around £80 a week, £640 a month. It's about £30,000 a year.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we budgeted from the start. We were looking at £80 inclusive of bills, so yeah, we're very happy with that.
£30,000 a year would be a fantastic return, representing a massive 15% yield. And this high rental income should also mean a healthy resale value.
And based on the rental return of somewhere between £30,000 and £32,000 a year, this will have a market value of between £300,000 and £320,000.
It would be around the £300,000 mark.
I think it's very, very difficult for us to put a value on what the property's worth because it's more of a commercial property, but from that perspective, and then, yeah, that sounds very interesting at this stage.
With a potential £100,000 profit if sold and a tremendous rental return, I think perhaps this is time for drinks on the house. But how's Danny going to cope with his lovely property being occupied by students, not always the most careful tenants?
As long as they pay the money up front and everything's in order in terms of the deposits, we don't mind. I was a student once. I know they're going to enjoy themselves. They've got to study, work hard and play hard. I should be quite a good landlord and fairly understanding, hopefully.
And if student days really are the best years of your life, what better way to spend them than in accommodation to match? Join us next time for lots